Previously on the Joe John Show.
Murray, there's a great mystery out there with this movie that I think everybody should know. Would you like to know?
Hell yeah.
All right, this is what you do with the 5-gallon and the 3-gallon jug, okay? You fill the 5-gallon jug with water. You empty that 5 gallons into the 3-gallon jug, which leaves you with 2 gallons in the 5-gallon jug. Then you empty that 3-gallon jug. You take the 2 gallons from the 5-gallon jug to put it into the 3-gallon jug. Then you fill up the 5-gallon jug all the way, and then you empty what you can from the 5-gallon jug into the 3-gallon jug, which had 2 gallons in it, which removes that 1 gallon from the 5-gallon jug, which leaves you exactly 4 gallons.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Joe John. I am Murray, and this is my boy Joe.
Hey, everyone.
And we are here today at a weird time because of the schedules being all messed up, as you might have heard last week on the Where's Wes episode that I put out. And the hell with everybody who keeps texting me or asking me where's Wes now.
It'll come up again, I'm sure.
I don't really care. I do have something I want to address about that before we get into the show, and that is that in it, I said the only reason I do my podcast with Joe, like, I felt bad because I made it sound like I just do it because Joe's at my work, and that's not the case. I love doing this show with Joe. We're kind of on the same wavelength when it comes to what we're doing here, and that's why I'm working with him. I enjoy it, Joe.
No, I appreciate that very much, Murray. I honestly do.
And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've been a giant dick to Joe lately. Like, Joe doesn't own some things that I own. And that might be the John Wick movies. And I just kept rubbing it in his face. Like, I got him right here. Look at him, Joe. You don't own these.
I own the plastic cases.
Yep, he owns the shitty plastic. What the hell just happened? He owns the shitty plastic cases that no one wants. Yeah, because they can have these badass steel books right here.
And these are some of my favorite movies of today.
And I still have yet to see them.
Yeah, it's like I'm the biggest fan here, and he hasn't even seen them.
So I got Joe a present, and Joe doesn't know what I got him. I said it was a surprise.
You did. He got me the steel cases of John Wick and John Wick Chapter 2.
There you go, Joe.
I'm very thankful for. How much did that cost you? I'll pay you.
Nah, don't worry about it.
I'll pay you for these.
Don't worry about it.
I'll have to do something nice for you.
No, I'm not worried about it. You know, my intention the whole time I was giving you shit is like I knew you weren't gonna get them.
Well, really quick, it's like it completely pisses me off because I was going to BestBuy.com to get these, to pre-order them, because I was able to get Spectre and Deadpool, the steel cases.
That's all I got mine.
Yeah, pre-order them, and they would ship them to your house. They don't seem to do that anymore. Now you have to pick them up at the store. And so the thing it was telling me is like I could get John Wick Chapter 2 at the Topeka store, but I couldn't get John Wick 1 at the Topeka store. I would have to drive to Lawrence or Joplin, and I just didn't want to do it.
See, that's the thing that's ridiculous about it is that you had when I went on there and looked, you had to drive to Joplin, and from where we are, that's like what, 3 hours away or something like that.
Yeah, I could
2.5.
I could have driven to Lawrence, but
yeah, that wasn't even available when I did it.
I just thought it was stupid. And then of course I go into Best Buy to pick up John Wick 2, and they had a spot for the John Wick Part 1 steel case, but it was all empty. And I guess they had sold out of their John Wick 2 steel cases, so I couldn't get that either. But then, of course, a couple days later, I'm at Best Buy again, like maybe a week, and then they had John Wick first one in steel case.
When I bought Logan, I wanted to get the 4K.
Pissed me off.
And I went in there and I bought I pre-ordered the 1080p. And when I went in there to get it, I was like, okay, if they have the 4K steelbook, I'll buy it too. And I went in there and talked to them, and they flat out told me, they said they don't hardly get any of those, like in our store here in town. They're like they said they get a limited amount.
I wasn't too bummed about the Logan steel case though, because I don't think it really looks all that cool. Like the John Wick ones look cool, but
no, I agree.
The Logan one isn't really that.
It's not that good looking. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's got special art by some special artist from Marvel or something."
That's great. It still didn't look all that
I
great.
wasn't a fan. But the thing is, I just feel gross buying anything not in a steel case now.
I know. I love them. I love them, especially with those. Especially with the John Wick movies.
Yeah, So there's your surprise, Joe.
Well, thanks, Murray.
Okay.
How about that? I was expecting like maybe a tube of dildos or something.
Yeah, I don't seem to be too nice to Joe, but sorry, I'm playing footsies with you here. Then I got some other stuff I want to bring up, but I'm going to let Joe do a rundown real quick of what we got to talk about.
All right. Well, on today's show,
You got talking in the mic, brother.
On today's show, we're going to be talking about some Nintendo stuff again, as far as they announced the Super Nintendo Mini, and we're also going to be talking about the Xbox One X. Murray wants to bring up something from my past also. We'll probably talk about that pretty soon. We're also going to be talking about some big news with Lucasfilm and the Star Wars franchise, where the Han Solo movie is going through a lot of problems right now. And we're going to have reviews of 47 Meters Down, Transformers, The Last Night. That's what it's called, I think.
The hell, I don't know.
And Life, which just came out on Blu-ray. Oh, I think we're gonna be even talk about how Murray likes to use daffodils in flower arrangements, and that's a big no-no.
Okay, Joe,
You want to go with that first, the daffodils?
Yeah, sure. I have a question for you.
Oh, is this my past?
Yeah, I just have a question for you. What's your favorite Oliver Stone movie?
Probably JFK.
Okay, yeah, I figured you'd say that. So then the next question I have is how do you like to watch it? Because I was told that you at one point told people you like to watch it naked with a glass of wine.
I think I also like to watch it with a bunch of candles lit too. Yeah, that's like one of my all-time favorite movies. I don't literally do that.
Okay, well now here's the problem. Here's the problem, because the source that told me this told me that when you first told them, you told them like they were serious, like you were serious. And then when they made fun of you, that's when you, later on down the line, that's when you were like, that wasn't for real. and that's what made them not believe you.
No, I'd never done that with JFK. Maybe someday I will. Maybe maybe someday if I do the Twitter thing, maybe I'll do an Instagram or a Twitter thing of that with me. Glass of wine, naked, watching JFK.
Well, that's all I wanted to know.
You don't do that with your favorite movies?
No.
I mean, it's a pretty pleasurable experience.
I don't sit here in my living room and watch Labyrinth with a wine and naked and
David Bowie's crotch.
Yeah, I get excited about it.
Well, don't you love JFK?
I think it's okay.
That is my favorite Oliver Stone movie. That and Platoon and Born on the 4th of July.
I don't like Platoon that much.
Platoon is slightly dated, but
I think it's overrated.
And Charlie Sheen, I still don't think he's a good actor. He's like the weakest link in that movie. Everybody else is like a
Are
million
you kidding
times
me?
better.
Charlie Sheen is amazing. Amazing in Men at Work.
Well, I do like that movie too.
All right, so the world now knows. I just keep playing footsies with you. I'm sorry. It's just the way we're sitting.
Well, you're talking about me being naked, and you just go to the footsies.
That gave me a boner. Anyways, let's move on down the line. What do we got coming up? What are we gonna start with?
I figured let's get Nintendo out of the way, please, because I'm getting.
That's right. More Nintendo.
We talk about it all the time.
Nintendo. Actually, but this is a more of a positive and a negative to me. The positive is that they officially announced the Super NES Mini. I believe today or yesterday, as we record this. And I'm pretty excited about it. It's got 21 games. One of those games is an actual official release of Star Fox 2, which I think is pretty cool because the game never came out, and there's only unofficial like made at home cartridges you can get and buy and all that kind of stuff.
That's the unreleased game is Star Fox 2?
Yes.
Okay.
And the thing is, it's 21 games and 2 controllers, which I am glad that they put 2 controllers in here, because last time they didn't. And you couldn't find extra controllers anywhere.
What would the old Nintendo controllers work?
No, I don't think so. I think because they plugged in, they had the on the NES Mini, they had the same kind of like plug-in that like the Wii U has on, or the Wii has on its controllers. But anyways, they priced it at $80, which I think is a bit ridiculous. It's $10 more than the last system. And the reason I say it's ridiculous is because, one, I get that they're like, oh, we got another controller in there, and that's why it's more money. But you have less games. You have 9 less games. I don't care if one of those games is an unreleased exclusive that never got put out there. That doesn't matter to me. You have 9 less games.
Do you think they're going to learn their lesson from the previous Nintendo Classic
Kotaku asked them if they were going to have more, and they said they are going to have more. Their exact words were they were going to have a significant amount more than when the NES was
Because
released.
this is going to sell a lot harder than the original.
Well, see, here's the problem. You got two things going against you if you want this. You got all the people who wanted the first one, and and I'm talking real fucking fans. Damn it.
Not eBay.
You got to cut out that F-bomb. Real fans who went out and got them, who got up at 3 a.m. to drive an hour and a half away
That's
to get
you,
one.
Murray.
Yes, it is. But
You loser.
yeah, then you've got the scalpers, and I think because of how ridiculous the last one sold and how hard it was to get, I think the scalper is going to be out times 10 this time because they're going to smell money. And I'll be honest with you, I want this thing so bad, I don't care where I get it.
You're not the only one. My roommate Thomas was telling me that he would do things.
I don't.
Sick things.
I'm gonna get one if I gotta get one from a scalper, I will.
That price to me is
It's a bit ridiculous.
I don't like that at all, man. And the thing is, that makes me wonder, like, if do you think they're gonna continue with this? Like, are they gonna do a Nintendo 64 mini?
I don't know, because the Nintendo 64 is apparently incredibly hard to emulate, and I don't know how many games they'd be able to put on it.
Yeah. Well, it'll probably be a lot less. Like, what, maybe 10? Like, it'd probably be like their flagship ones, like Super Mario 64. You have to have GoldenEye on there.
You know, if it was on there, that'd be great. But the problem is, I think people are going to find out if when a Nintendo 64 comes out that they're going to be like, wow, this thing shows its age horribly.
Yeah, it's very blurry.
Yeah,
It sucks playing it on an HD TV also. It makes it even just worse.
Yeah, I don't think it would hold up very well. I wish Sega would actually make their own of this, not the crappy
generic
not the crappy
versions.
generic versions that keep coming out. I wish they'd come out with something that was this and it was awesome. But anyways, let's move on.
Wasn't there something? Was that like the positive and the negative? The Nintendo.
Yeah, the
Did you want
positive.
anything with E3?
I think the positive is that it's coming out. It's going to be awesome. But the negative is it's expensive. It's going to be hard to get. Let's be real. Nintendo's not going to be able to fulfill the demand.
Why didn't they use that at E3? Why didn't they announce this at E3?
I have no idea. They didn't do a lot of things at E3 that people were expecting.
E3 was not that good this year. It's like the same game, the same number one game that was shown at this year's E3 was the same number one game that I had at last year's E3, which was God of War for PlayStation. It's like there was nothing else that really blew me away.
Well, that was Sony. Sony showed nothing but stuff from next year.
They showed like the same stuff from last year and saying, "Oh, it's coming out next year." It's like, thank you very much.
Yeah. And then I addressed last week that what I thought about Nintendo. I kept telling Joe to go see the Yoshi game because it looks exactly like Little Big Planet.
I've kind of noticed that as far as Nintendo, which they are really huge right now, but a lot of their games are starting to, I don't know, kind of replicate other video games. Like there's that Mario Rabbids game, which Rabbids are like, those look like, they're like minions. Is that what they...
Yeah, I guess.
They're just like a rabbit version of Minions.
I wasn't interested in it. I brought up that I thought Super Mario Odyssey looked amazing, but I thought the music they used, everybody's like, yo, that song. I'm like, that song was stupid. I brought that up. And then I also pointed out that everybody kept talking about Nintendo winning E3. I don't think anybody won E3.
A lot of people thought Ubisoft won.
Yeah.
But that I think was because they had Nintendo stuff there, and plus they showed off Beyond Good and Evil 2, which I'll believe it when it actually comes out because it was a CGI trailer.
Well, I guess they got gameplay out there now.
I think they had gameplay of the other Beyond Good and Evil 2 also, and then nothing came of that game.
Huh.
That was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Well, there's that, and then they showed off the new Assassin's Creed in checkerboarded fake 4K running on the Xbox One.
Oh, so we're getting to the Xbox One X right now?
Which me and Joe are going to debate on right now.
Well,
go ahead, Joe.
Let me just say what I'm going to say with the Xbox One X.
I will.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. I will let you. That's what I meant. I didn't finish my sentence.
Good.
This is a good podcast. I'm so good at my job.
Yeah. But anyway, Xbox One X.
What a dick.
It's coming out this November. It's like early November.
November 17th, isn't it?
It's going to be
something like that?
I thought it was November 11th.
Or 11th? Hell, I don't know.
It's going to be basically $500, which for me, for that kind of price, I wasn't expecting it to be $400. I honestly thought it was going to be more than $500.
So did I.
But a lot of people seem to be upset about the price. I wish it was $400, but I'm not angry about that price.
I think it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, and plus my whole thing is the reason why I am going to get it is because I feel that it is the perfect console if you are if you're strictly console gamer and if you're into the multi-platform titles, like I basically am like that's my main bread and butter. That's the console that I will get.
And I understand
That's
that.
for
I get
me.
that. I totally get that.
And it is more powerful than the PlayStation 4 Pro, so I'll just get the Xbox One X. That's the only way I can really recommend the console is if you are strictly console and you're into multi-platform gaming.
Well, now here's where my beefs come in with the system, and it's not that I'm not going to buy one because I do think that it's going to be. I think there are going to be things on it that are going to be awesome. I think Microsoft's that's one of the things. Like, well, yeah, their games are on the PC and they're on.
I wish they would stop doing that. I wish they would have some genuinely exclusive titles.
Yeah, there's no reason for me to actually buy it because I could go to the Windows Store and get Crackdown 3 when it comes out. However, the problem I have is that I don't want to use the Windows Store to buy shit. I hate that we have to be restricted.
Can you just tell me really quick what's so bad about it?
What, the Windows Store?
Yeah, a lot of people talk crap on it.
It's just clunky and it just doesn't work well. I mean, it's just not good. And then half the time you can't even, depending on what update you have, you can't even connect to the damn thing. That's why I like Steam. It just works. Everything just works.
It's a nice endorsement.
Yeah, yeah.
Just works.
Besides the point, and the other thing is that there's just some games I don't want to play on my computer. I don't know. I'm weird like that. And that's one of them. I don't want to play Crackdown on my computer. I want to have it on my Xbox. That's the other thing too. I'll have an actual physical disc for my, and that's something I like, physical stuff. And that's one of the other reasons.
I haven't gotten into the whole digital movement.
I mean, I got a lot of games on my PC, but I can tell you right now, I have a lot of the same games that I went out and bought the physical copies because I wanted to have a physical copy. However, what I was going to beef about with the system is that I really think it's false advertising that they keep coming out and saying it's a true 4K system because they keep talking about true 4K gaming, and it's not. It is in some aspects, like Forza will probably be true 4K gaming, 60 frames per second, 4K native 4K resolution. Ubisoft, however you say their name, ran Assassin's Creed in the checkerboarded fake 4K. Now, here's what my concern with that game was. And it's the problem I'm seeing with other games. A lot of other games, and this isn't knocking the power of the system. This is more of their game plan model system they have. I can't remember who it was, but they said their game is going to be 30 frames per second on the original Xbox and this Xbox.
Destiny 2.
And no, it wasn't just them. It was somebody else who said it too. And they said it's because of parity. They wanted people who are playing online to have the same functionality FPS-wise on both systems.
You see, I think that's wrong because Sony's not into crossplay. Like Microsoft and Nintendo are gonna have crossplay features. Sony doesn't want any part of that, so why would they restrict it?
No. I'm not saying they're restricting it. I'm saying that the company is doing it because they felt like they didn't feel it necessary to have both. I think it's Crackdown actually, and I'm thinking about that. It's going to be 30 frames per second on both systems, and their whole point is that it's because they wanted everything to work together real well. And that is part of my problem is where I feel like the new system's going to be held back by the old system, one. Two, the new system isn't as beefy as they claim it is because its processor is an old-ass processor. Like, its main processor, the GPU is awesome, but the main, like, brain of the system isn't. It's a little bit behind, and that's what's going to kill it.
Well,
and that's why you end up with checkerboarding fake 4K. That's what bothers me is that they keep coming as true 4K. I'm like, it's not. It isn't all the time, and that's the problem. Now, I do agree that it is of the two systems. It is the most powerful. It is going to have the most capability. It is the most capable of running the games in whatever, but it's going to piss me off if I'm getting 4K games at 30 frames per second when I'm hoping there's an ability to play it in at least 1080p or even 1400p at 60.
How does it feel that I'm holding you back, Murray?
You're not holding me back.
As a console gamer, I'm holding you back.
How are you holding me back?
Because you're a PC gamer. And consoles hold back PC.
No,
they
don't.
do. Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, a lot of like developers are saying that PlayStation 5 is like a 5-year-old PC.
It is like a 5-year-old PC.
No, I mean PlayStation 4 is like a
It is like a 5-year-old PC, but still, I mean, I don't see how it holds it back. When I can sit over here and play these games, if I want to play Prey at 120 frames per second over here in full resolution, I can. But if I
Stop sounding so smug, Murray.
Oh, I'm not. But I'm just saying, if I wanted to play it on the PlayStation, I have Doom on the PC, and I have it on the Xbox, and I have it on the PS4, and I just
Why?
Because I love that game, and I wanted it on every system, and I played the shit out of it.
Do you play them all at once?
Yes, I do.
Yourself
I use
and multiplayer?
I use my feet and everything. I'm saying, like, dude, the first time I played it on my PC. It looked amazing. It ran at 1 billion frames per second. It was glorious. It was like Jesus came down and touched my computer.
It looked
made
pretty
it awesome.
It looked pretty good to me too on my console.
But that's the thing. I didn't have a problem playing it on the Xbox. I didn't have a problem at all.
Well, I don't even know. I don't think this was even really a debate. It's just because we're both going to get one.
True.
I mean, we would probably have a much better debate on like the Nintendo Switch and why I'll probably never buy one. But I mean, we're both getting one. The thing is, are you going to pre-order yours or are you going to wait? Because I
think I'm going to wait.
I've already started saving some money for it, so I'll probably pre-order it, which I don't even think that pre-ordering stuff has started yet. I don't know.
No, they won't be until they get it approved by the FCC. That's what they're waiting on. That's what all the systems always have to wait on.
Great.
It'll happen sometime probably like in the summer. This summer. Like July, probably, I bet.
Well, I'm hoping to get it because then when I do get it, I could talk about it. Honestly, I just don't know. I mean, Crackdown 3 will be out at that time.
It comes out the same day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. It does. So
my priority more right now is to get a 4K TV, then maybe move on to this.
It's nice. Yeah, that's right. I do have a 4K TV, and it's, oh, God, it's so nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So smooth, and the lighting in it just makes it just feel a little bit more natural looking, I guess.
Yeah, I want to get one, then I want to hook my PC up to it and play my games in 4K, 60 frames per second.
But that's, of course, that's like upscaled stuff, though. It's like I don't have an actual 4K device to use.
Oh, you don't?
No. So
you still have a regular Xbox, don't you?
Yeah. So I don't know. The Xbox One X will probably be the first thing to where I actually experience 4K because it'll have the 4K Blu-ray and everything.
And Joe will come to work with his eyeballs blown out of his head.
Yeah. Let's move on to some movie news. This is some really big freaking news, I think. But the new Han Solo movie, which I'm going to say right off the bat, I think is an incredibly bad idea.
He doesn't like it. It's a prequel. He doesn't like prequels. He thinks they're stupid. He thinks, and I disagree. I love
forward.
I love the idea of having more stories of Han Solo.
I don't. I'll tell you what kind of prequels I would like from Star Wars, though. Why can't we go back? I don't know, like a millennia, like 1,000 years, and that way we can see the origins of the Jedi or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Why I would be totally into that because video games and books have done that. Why can't we get something like that? You could really do a lot.
I think they can do that. I think they can do the Han Solo stuff too.
I don't want the Han Solo stuff. There's no point.
Why?
What exactly are they going to do? Okay, I'm going to sound like an old man on this, but I only want Harrison Ford.
I know that. I know that's one of your beefs with it. I know that
that's one of my beefs.
And I understand that.
And because I just think that, and we're going to get into it
Sorry if I'm making all kinds of noise on the mic.
But apparently this new actor who's playing Han Solo, there's been some rumors that came out today that his performance is not working. They had to hire an acting coach to get him to, I don't know, become Han Solo.
See, but that's the thing is there's other rumors that have came out too saying that he was the one who went and beefed about the way they were directing the movie. And it made me wonder if, because he didn't like the direction the film was going.
He said there was rumors going out that people felt like he was acting way too much like Ace Ventura, which is very interesting to me.
See, I heard that rumor, but I also heard that's misconstrued, and that what it is that the movie was turning out to be Ace Ventura, Han Solo, and it was because of Lord Miller, because it was becoming a big zany screwball comedy, is what this movie was becoming.
Back to the whole Han Solo movie thing where I just think it's a bad idea. Because I have a feeling that in the movie, this is what we're going to see. We're going to see how he gets the Millennium Falcon. We're going to probably see how he maybe met Lando. We're going to see how he meets Chewie.
It takes place over 6 years, I think.
And we're going to see all this stuff. I don't need to see it. I really don't I don't care.
I do.
I just don't care. And
I do care.
The thing is, another thing too.
God, you are just a big curmudgeon about this stuff.
Well, and this is something just out there, but Rogue One, you had a completely CGI Grand Moff Tarkin character.
Oh, I hope they don't do shit like that in this movie.
And I hope not either. But if they're gonna do that, go to the lengths of that. Then why don't we get a CGI Harrison Ford with a voice like?
Oh God.
Why not?
Oh, it'd be awful.
It's probably going to be awful anyway.
Hey, man. Ron Howard stepped in, and he's going to save it.
Ron Howard, I don't want to talk too much trash because the man has made some of the best movies of all time,
Yeah.
like Apollo 13.
He's going to save it.
I will see, but man, when he has stinkers, man, his movies suck. Like some of his, like I said, like Apollo 13. I love that Gung Ho movie he did with Michael Keaton. That was amazing. A lot of it's based on Frost Nixon. All of those like based on a true story movies. He does fantastic. A Beautiful Mind. But then he does his studio movies, and they usually suck. Like the Da Vinci Code movies.
I swear to God, he does those just to be able to do all the other stuff he does. He has to.
That last movie bombed big time, though. There's not going to be any more of those.
Oh, I can't believe they kept going with him. I was like, I don't think there's as big of a following. Did it bomb worldwide? Because those movies did do good worldwide.
I think it did. At least domestically, it bombed.
That's
I don't
the thing,
know
though.
worldwide.
Worldwide, everything seems to be. Dude, we're not number one in the movies no more.
No, we're not. We're really not. But he just when Ron Howard has a stinker. Plus, he did that really terrible Kevin James Vince Vaughn movie.
Which one was that one?
I can't remember what it was called. Something to where Winona Ryder was cheating on Kevin James and
God, I don't even remember that movie.
It was completely awful. But Ron Howard, when he does bad movies, I'm surprised you haven't mentioned Willow yet.
Because it's a bad movie?
No, it's a good movie.
I was going to say, what are you talking about? I love that movie.
That's a good movie. But I'm just saying, it's like with Ron Howard, I think he'll do good. But this movie, man, Lucasfilm, they need to get their act together because this is like the same thing what happened with Rogue One, as well as the Boba Fett movie that's basically been shelved because remember they were going to have Josh Trank direct that.
Yeah.
But with the reception of Fantastic Four, he was essentially, as well as his behavior during Fantastic Four filming, they fired him from that and the Boba Fett movie has been shelved. Who knows when we will get that? And then we have Rogue One where the director Gareth Evans, is that his name? I think Gareth Evans. Gareth something. I don't know. But he wanted to do like a gritty war movie version, and they basically took it away from him. They kept him as director, but they completely rewrote a lot of it.
Not to interrupt you, but I will point out that the last...
Gareth Edwards.
Was Inferno the last one?
Yes.
Yeah, Inferno worldwide made $220 on a $75 million budget, but I get why they keep making them. The first one made $758. The second one made $485, but the next one will make like $100 because it's just the direction it's going. The people around the world love that shit. I think that they missed a boat with the Han Solo stuff by not doing the Boba Fett stuff. I honestly think Boba Fett should have been the first thing they did.
Well, yeah.
Because I think that's somebody they could do a movie about, and it could be an anytime movie because he doesn't have to fit in any. You can have a whole standalone movie with him.
Plus, you get the other bounty. Well, you've tried to get the other bounty hunters in there too. In some way.
I think the other big mistake that Lucasfilm made is I told you earlier today. I think hiring Lord Miller was the stupidest idea ever because they bring them in here. I mean, these guys. I'm sorry. What do we got? Lego movies and 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street. Come on, man.
Well, they should have known what they were getting into when they hired them. That's why I'm saying get your act together. It's like know who you're going to hire. I think what it is that they hire these edgy directors, but they don't seem to want the edge.
No.
You know? And
I don't understand why they hired for episode 9. I don't understand why they hired that
Colin
dude.
Trevorrow because of Jurassic World, because of a huge success.
Yeah, but
his latest movie that he did, The Book of Henry, that came out this year. That's considered to quite possibly be like so far the worst movie of the year. Like they say that it's embarrassingly bad. And now there's actually I think a call out there of people like getting really worried for him directing episode 9. And so people are really worried about it. And apparently episode 8 went very smooth, which the director must have been able to find a connection in order to, sort of like a, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of mentality. But with the directors of Han Solo, I do like these directors. I mean, think about it, dude. They were able to take, I know you don't care too much about the Lego movie, but that movie was huge. And it was, and I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was
okay.
Well, they were able to make a very successful movie about Legos, and they were able to take 21 Jump Street. That movie just seemed like it was just bound to fail, but they made it work. And so I honestly think
But I don't think that style works with the Star Wars universe, and that's what the problem is.
They should have adapted. It's just like stories came out to where they really wanted to do things their own way, and basically they're huge improvisational directors. So the crew was getting frustrated with them because it would take a lot longer to get shots done and everything like that because of the actors and how they were directing them. And even like when Ron Howard was announced to the crew, everybody like thunderously applauds. Everybody was very happy that Ron Howard was getting onto it because I think everyone just wanted to get to work and get this thing done.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like Lawrence Kasdan, who wrote the Han Solo movie, dude, he's an old fart. He would constantly come by there and he hated it that they're not saying exactly what's in the script. Like he wanted them to say exactly everything that's in the script. He's one of those screenwriters, which... Yes, you use it as like a template, but it's okay to kind of deviate a little bit from the script.
But from what I've read, they said that once they put the whole complete, like everything they had completed together, the tone of the film totally did not work. They said when they were watching like the dailies in pieces, they said it seemed all right, but once you put it together, they said it totally did not work.
Do you remember a while back when they said, "Oh, everybody's having so much fun around this Han Solo"?
Oh, I thought it was bullshit the whole time.
But I just think, Kathleen Kennedy, who runs Lucasfilm, just get your act together. I'm tired of saying that, but just do it. It's like you're in charge of this huge franchise. And I think, honestly, the way that they're doing this, I just feel that, I don't think they really care. It's just a money maker to them.
Oh, yeah, it is. Dude, I said a long time ago, they're going to ruin Star Wars. I said they're going to.
I'm not going to go that far.
I think they are. They're not taking care of it like Marvel took care of it, like Disney has Marvel taking care of everything.
Marvel's doing a much better job. And I am kind of concerned because look, The Force Awakens, yes, I like I don't love The Force Awakens. I like the movie. I think that probably the biggest problem with it that everyone has a problem with is that it's pretty much a carbon copy of A New Hope. But my view, it had to be done like that.
No, I agree.
After the prequels,
they had to play it safe.
You had to do it. You had to play it safe. And I thought J.J. Abrams did a good start to it. But now we have this new episode. I swear to God, dude, if it is way too much like The Empire Strikes Back, I think I am done.
Oh, I agree. Me too.
I just don't want that. Like, go in a different direction. You had the start, now take it in a completely new direction. The trailer, there's not enough in the trailer for me to make that kind of judgment, but yes.
Oh, by the way, you there's another thing. It's like when the Force Awakens trailer came out, my brain about exploded out of my head because it was epic and awesome. This trailer was the Last Jedi trailer just kind of left me like, nah.
I think that's kind of unfair because The Force Awakens was like a trailer, like how many years in the waiting for it?
Oh, no, but it was done really well. Like, it was more exciting. This trailer was kind of boring to me. When I saw it, I was like all excited, and I was like, eh.
Plus they had Han Solo show up in that trailer, and that was like the best part of that trailer. And in this, there's no more Han Solo, so it kind of like...
Dude, it just started off awesome. You had like the TIE fighters, or not the TIE fighters, but the X-Wings all flying down through the water and crap in the trailer, and it was amazing. It was like, oh my God, this shit looks incredible. And then this movie, you just got a bunch of like, it just seems like a downer. That's why I'm like, I almost felt like...
That's why you think it's going to be like Empire Strikes Back?
Yes.
This is going to be depressing and everything?
Then I don't like all the stuff I'm hearing about the movie where they said, well, they're not going to answer any of these questions. They're not going to really tell you anything about this. This isn't going to happen either. And I'm like, what the
Well, some of the spoilers were leaked. I read just a tiny little bit. I read enough to where...
Don't spoil anything.
I'm not going to say anything, but there was... I might have read like 2 spoilers. One of them I'm not happy about. The other one, fine. But I do think that... I really hope... They just need to... Just do a good job, please, Lucasfilm. You have $1 billion franchise in your hands, and you're essentially... You may or may not screw it up, but I think the Han Solo movie... Honestly, when I first heard that news, when they fired the directors, I was like, just cut it. Just don't even bother with the Han Solo movie. Scrap it, please.
Nah.
Because I'm going to have to go see it, and then possibly like it.
Yeah, it'll be
just like Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman all over again.
Yeah, Wonder Woman, I was like, no, I don't want to see this. I'd rather just wait till Blu-ray. I have no desire. It's going to be Ghostbusters
Yeah, but
all
I'm
over
glad
again.
you went. I was glad I went.
And then when the movie was over, I was like, oh, I almost cried during that movie. Like, legitimately. Like, it hit emotional levels.
When?
Well, I'm not going to spoil it.
I don't remember anywhere that you would cry in that movie.
Oh, dude, there was sad moments.
Oh,
in
yeah, never mind.
And it's not just like the sad moments, but also the bravery that's in the movie and everything. It's like that movie
Jesus,
was great.
Joe, the
Oh, man.
bravery. Okay.
Oh man, I really did like that movie. I don't know. Maybe I'll love it even more. I remember I gave it like an 8. I almost feel like I should have given it a higher score.
I gave it a 9.
But it's
9?
definitely, if Logan didn't come out this year, then it would be the best superhero movie so far.
Yeah.
And it might still be the best. Like Spider-Man, it'll probably be better than that as well. Which, by the way, we should probably mention really quick with Spider-Man, the reviews are glowing. Spider-Man Homecoming.
Everything's glowing. Everything is glowing when it first comes out. I have yet to see any of these movies come out and everybody's like, it's crap.
I know, when I saw like glowing reviews for and these are from fanboys, by the way. Glowing reviews for BVS, Fantastic Four. Because of those two movies, I don't take any of this stuff seriously. And Spider-Man,
It could be good. It could not be good. I don't know.
Be.
Wonder Woman has proven to me that I can no longer judge these movies.
I know, and I can't really talk crap on DC as much anymore either.
Yeah, well, not right now.
Oh, by the way, as far as DC goes, like the directors of Han Solo, Lord and Miller,
The Flash.
Yeah, they're supposed to, I guess, be going to the Flash. Dude, wouldn't that be hilarious if the Flash is like regarded as great and Han Solo is regarded as crap? I just think that'd be, if Lord and Miller were going to do the Flash.
Yeah, but it's still like they can blame Han Solo being crap on Lord and Miller. I mean, that's kind of the problem.
They already are.
But
they're doing that right now.
But the thing I will defend is that the dude, what's his name, playing the Han Solo,
Alden Ehrenreich, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how to say his name. Yeah,
I think that's how it is.
The one thing I'll say, if he did go complain about the tone of the movie and the direction they were going, I kind of feel like he had to, if it really is that bad. And the reason why is because he's playing Han Solo. He's playing the main character.
Yeah, this could ruin his career.
Yeah, and that's why if I were him, I'd be balls to the wall into this, because it could be the end of him. I mean, Jesus Christ, how many people? I mean, not that I really thought we were ever going to see lots of Hayden Christensen, period. But let's be real. If he had anything promising on the horizon, Star Wars killed it.
He had that awesome movie though, Shattered Glass. I think that's what it was called. It's where it was based on a true story where he played this guy who worked at the New Yorker and made up fake stories.
Yeah.
He was really good in that.
He was good in Life as a House.
Yeah, he can be good. It's just that's George Lucas. You could blame that on George Lucas.
Oh no, I totally agree.
I wouldn't totally blame it on Hayden Christensen. I would mainly blame it on George Lucas.
No, I don't.
Even Natalie Portman is terrible.
Everybody was terrible in that movie, and there's lots of good actors in those movies.
Yeah, except for Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor was good. I would go see an Obi-Wan movie with Ewan McGregor.
Oh, I would too. I would not go see a Mace Windu movie.
No, forget that. Sam Jackson was terrible in those movies.
Yeah. Oh my God. Some of the dialogue that dude delivered, he was just...
That's probably it though. Ewan McGregor, I think he probably was. Oh, and maybe Ian McDermott, Palpatine.
Oh yeah, he was good. That was it though. Yeah, but I mean... Yeah, anyways, let's get off this. Let's movie reviews. Is that
too
where
much
we're going?
Star Wars? Yes, let's go to movie reviews.
Let me start off with 47 Meters Down, which I had something I was going to talk about, to complain about. Do you remember what it was? It was something to do with that movie. Oh yeah. Okay. When I went to see this movie,
Baby Driver.
Yeah. The trailer for Baby Driver's at the beginning of it, which that movie is also getting glowing reviews. But in the trailer, they put Rotten Tomatoes 100 real big on the screen. I immediately got on my phone to see how many reviews that movie had. It was at 100 at this point, and I don't know how long this trailer's been playing in front of this movie. It has 35 reviews as of today. What is it? 50 something?
Yeah, and it's at 98%.
I'm sorry, you don't get to tout your Rotten Tomatoes score on your movie this early. I mean, the movie comes out this week, but once you get, once you start hitting like 100 on reviews and things like that, that's when I could think you can start saying, all right, our movie's doing good. 35 reviews and you're putting the advertisement on there, it's kind of misleading.
Yeah.
Because it can nightmarishly become a fucking 60. Oh, I'm just dropping them today. A 60, in a night. It can just drop.
Yeah, it could. That you should always wait until the movie is released. I understand that you want to sell your movie. I wonder if they don't have too much, they think that, people will probably go see it and it's probably a pretty darn good movie, but they're probably worried that not enough people will see it.
Yeah, I'm not in no way knocking this movie. I mean, I actually want to see it.
It looks good. But I think I would
Edgar Wright, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
His stuff is always good. Like even Scott Pilgrim was all right.
I liked Scott Pilgrim. A lot of people hate it. I liked it.
Really, I think I thought it was good.
I found it to be entertaining.
It was certainly made very well. But anyway, yeah, I was gonna say that you should just wait until the day the movie comes out, because right now it's not even 100% anymore. Because there's always that one douchebag who's gonna give it a negative review, even though it probably deserves a positive.
One day I hope it's us.
I hope not, dude. I really hope not.
One day it's us giving the douchebag negative review.
Yeah, whoever gave Logan a negative reviews, you're douchebags.
Yeah, I agree. But that was my complaint about that. But anyways, I saw 47 Meters Down. It's got Mandy Moore and a whole bunch of other people I don't know. Anyways.
Matthew Modine.
Matthew Modine was
Private Joker.
He was the dude on the boat who had the boat. Anyways, basically what happens is is
that how he was credited?
I don't know what he was credited.
Hey,
I can't remember his name.
Hey, dude on the
I'm
boat.
telling you, nobody in this movie was memorable. Mandy Moore and her, I can't even remember their names, but her and her sister are having a trip in Mexico. They meet these other two dudes. They're hanging out, and the dudes are like, hey, let's go get on this... let's go on this guy's boat and we can go down in the ocean and see great white sharks. It's pretty much all in the trailer. The trailer pretty much explains the movie really well. The cage falls into the ocean, and then... oh my God, we got to get out of here. Sharks are going to get us. And like a couple other things happen here and there. But overall,
stupid white women.
The movie is a by the numbers shark movie. You know, hey, we got to get out of this cage and try to get to this point. Oh, here comes a shark. Better get back to the cage. You know, that kind of stuff over and over and over again.
I do enjoy shark movies.
And then that's what I do too. That's why I wanted to see it, to see if like it was even remotely entertaining. Now, here's the thing. This movie has an ending that is very different from most movies like this. And that's...
don't spoil it.
I'm not going to. But what I want to point out and where my beef is that the ending to this movie is like most movies do some kind of foreshadowing, like to let you know this is going to happen. This movie basically lays it on a plate and says, guess what? This is what's going to happen here in a few minutes. Get ready. And they try to make it like it's a suspenseful surprise, or like, yeah, we got you with a twist. But they give you, like, if you miss what is coming in this movie, the twist in this movie, you are retarded. You are an idiot. I like, when it happened, it made me mad because I was like, did they really just tell you what's going to happen? I mean, they just blatantly are like, this is going to happen.
I'm probably not going to get it.
No, it was so... oh, I think you will. I'm telling you, it is that obvious. It's as obvious as me telling you right now I'm going to punch you in the face and then punching you in the face. It's so stupid. And it made me mad because once this part of the movie, like once the... like some of the suspense started taking off and people started getting eaten, it was kind of like, all right, it's happening. I know. And I was right. And then it was just dumb. And then it was just over. It's not very good.
Did you know it was originally supposed to be like a direct-to-DVD movie, but they released it theatrically because of the success of The Shallows?
It is...
did it seem like it should have been directed?
It is a straight-up direct-to-DVD movie.
It's making money, though. Like, it's making a decent amount.
It's a straight-to-DVD movie through and through. It's, I mean, it's done well. I mean, for what it is, but it's nothing. I mean, I could have watched it on TV. I think, matter of fact, if I'd have watched it like on TV, I'd probably been like, it's not as bad as like for a movie released in the theater.
Was it intense?
Absolutely not.
No?
Like, I didn't feel like any... I just don't feel like they built... it didn't build up to any intensity or anything like that. I mean, stuff happened in it, but it was all predictable. Like, you knew it was going to happen. You saw everything coming when it happened. Like, there was nothing that was a surprise, so there was no reason to be like, oh man, this is so suspenseful. I never felt that way. I mean, it was like, when they're out swimming in the open ocean, and at one point the girl's like, I'm lost. I don't know which way to go. I mean, you saw it coming. It didn't, because it was so dark, and it didn't seem like at any point I didn't really feel like, oh man, what are they going to get out? Are they going to get away? Because you knew what was going to happen.
How are the effects?
Kind of crappy. Yeah, like the sharks, like at times I was like, that shark looks like crap. But for the most part, they don't really show a whole lot of the shark, so they get away with it.
Was it better than The Shallows or worse than The Shallows?
I like The Shallows more.
You didn't even like The Shallows. I'm the one that liked The Shallows.
I know. I like The Shallows more.
Maybe
in this
you
movie.
should watch The Shallows again.
No, Shallows was boring, man. Boring.
I didn't think so.
This movie just wasn't good. It just wasn't good at all. It's easily a 2, maybe a 3.
Really?
Yeah.
That bad?
No, I thought it was awful. I just didn't. There was nothing like the whole time I was watching. I was just like, just get over. And I hate being this way about because like it's just get it over with because it was just so predictable. And I didn't expect a lot from this movie at all. My kids wanted to see it, so I was like, all right, we'll go see it.
Do you remember how long it was?
It's an hour and a half. It's not very long, so that kind of
something like that though. A movie like that should only be like maybe an hour and 20 minutes.
I will say this. I never felt like it was too long. That never bothered me at all.
Yeah, right.
I just, there was the only part I ever felt like it was too long is like the point where they're like kind of like hanging out with these other 2 Mexican dudes. I was kind of like, all right, great. I get that they're hanging out with these guys, but it's like, come on, let's move along to the shark part. That's where I want to get into it. And, they get out there and...
Murray, you have to have build up.
Hey, but there wasn't any. There wasn't any build up.
I will say this though. Maybe you are right though, because Jaws actually starts out right away, like with a shark attack. So,
yeah.
I mean, that movie's that, and it pretty much goes from there. There's really not too much slowdown in Jaws.
But there's no build up at all in this movie though. It's basically they go out there, they get in a shark cage, and they're like, "Wow, man, the sharks!" And then the thing just breaks and falls. It's all like positive, positive, positive. Then it just breaks and they're in the ocean. And it's now, how do we get out of here? There's no build up or nothing. It's just one thing to the other. It's by the numbers, man. I mean, it's like they laid up dominoes for each part of this movie and just knocked them down one at a time and threw it out the door.
Did you mention the acting? How was the acting?
Fine. I really thought that, like, as far as acting goes, I mean, they did a good job. I mean, it wasn't bad.
I've seen Mandy Moore and other things. She can act.
It was fine. They seemed genuinely scared. They seemed like they were freaking out, all that stuff. So yeah, there's nothing to complain about there. There was nothing to the movie. Everything was just predictable. Period. I keep repeating myself. That's it. It was extremely predictable.
Sounds like it.
Like predictable. I mean, it was just. There's no point. It was an easy movie. When you said it was a direct-to-DVD movie,
originally, yeah.
I totally seen why.
Do you know that we're supposed to be getting another shark movie? I think called Meg. It's gonna have Jason Statham in it. But it's like the shark is like the size of a submarine. I don't know when that comes out, but we'll probably have to go see that. I mean, Jason Statham versus a shark.
Nah.
That's badass. That's like...
yeah, I'm down.
I would really like that. Like, I can see him riding the giant fin and everything.
I just realized I hate reviewing movies by myself because I'm like, God, I'm terrible at this.
Well, I guess we could move... What was your score?
2.
2?
2.
Jesus.
2.
Are you sure you want to do a 2?
Dude, it's not even like I just felt like I was just like I spent maybe it's a 3. I don't know.
You don't sound too angry about it.
No, I'm not angry about it, and like I guess it's just because like I was never like I just felt like I was there. Like
you would never watch it again?
No.
Okay.
I just felt like I was there. And you know why I'm not angry about it is because I didn't expect anything out of it. I think it's different when you go to see Batman vs Superman and I expect a good movie and I get a big giant pile of shit. I went to see this movie and expected it not to be good, and I was hoping that it would surprise me, and it didn't. I mean, through this movie, I was like, man, what's going on Twitter? It's just, I didn't care. There was nothing, they try to make you care about the characters. I just didn't.
If I was there with you and I saw you pull out your phone, I'd smack that goddamn phone out of your hand.
I didn't really look at Twitter. I'm just saying, I'm sitting there wishing I could be looking at Twitter or doing something else.
Now, because I probably would have given this movie like a 5.
Nah, maybe. No, it's not good. It's just there. It was just.
Stop playing footsie with me.
I know. I'm sorry. I just felt like I was just there, man. That's all there was to it. Like I went to the theater, took my kids, and I just sat there, and I wasted an hour and a half of my life.
All right. Well, he gave it a 2. That's just great. Yep. It's just great. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Transformers. You got the touch. Anyway, did you remember that from the Transformers cartoon? Also featured in Boogie Nights. Anyway, first I want to actually mention before I get to the review, I went and saw Transformers, and before the movie when they had the trailers, I have to bring this up because I really hope this is not going to be starting a trend or anything, but they would show a trailer, and then right after that they would show maybe 5 to 10 second clip of the new movie Dunkirk, which does look good. And then they would show the next trailer, and then they would show a different 5 to 10 second clip of Dunkirk.
I just hate that title though, because I feel like
that's where it was.
I know, but it just sounds like a coffee. I wake up every morning and I have a Dunkirk.
Dunkirk with cream.
Yeah,
that's good.
Every time I hear it, I think of coffee.
But anyway, so another trailer, then another clip of Dunkirk trailer, and then they would show the full trailer of Dunkirk. And it's just Dunkirk, Dunkirk, Dunkirk. And I was getting really sick and tired of it. It's like I've seen a trailer for Dunkirk at every single movie. I'm pretty sure it's going to make a ton of money. But I really hope that this is not starting a trend with trailers, because it makes the trailers feel longer now.
You mean the already long trailers?
They're long enough. It's like the trailers before a movie last like 20, 30 minutes. It's ridiculous. Of course, I know why they do it, because there's still people coming in a half hour after the scheduled time of the movie is, because these people do not know time.
Actually, I think they come in a half hour later because they realize,
because of the trailers, they know that they've been to enough to where the trailers.
I mean, even you said the other day.
I still show up on time though. God,
you said if I can't get out of work on time, I'm not worried about it because there's 30 minutes of trailer. You don't get to be mad about that.
I don't care. I'm gonna be mad about it anyway. I don't care. I don't care what you say. But yeah, I just don't want them to start this because it sucked. I hated it. Don't do it. Just play the trailer. I don't need some 10-second clip. But let's get on to Transformers: The Last Night. I don't know. I don't really. I mean, this movie. What is this? What is this? What is this movie?
I didn't see it, so you tell me, Joe.
I'll tell you.
I wouldn't seen another pile of shit.
Okay. First, I just want to say that I do. I'm just gonna say I love Michael Bay. I do. There is a period there where I absolutely loathed him because of Armageddon and The Rock. Yes, I didn't care much for The Rock.
I didn't like The Rock either. I don't get what everybody says is so amazing about it.
I think I just found my soulmate. Somebody who actually doesn't like The Rock.
Everybody's like, it's the best movie ever. And
and I love Nicolas Cage, and that movie I did not like.
I finally watched. Like,
it didn't suck.
It took me forever to watch it, and I just kept like saying like, oh, I bet it's great. I bet it's gonna be awesome. And then finally watched it. Like, sat down and really watched it without being, like 18 or whatever the hell I was. And didn't see. Like, I didn't think it was awful, but I just didn't think it was that great. It's one of the most overrated movies I've ever seen in my life.
Armageddon, Pearl Harbor, Bad Boys 2. I
like Bad Boys 2.
I hate Bad Boys 2. I hate all of those movies, and I absolutely hated Michael Bay, and yet I still saw all of them. Like I think I've seen every single one of them except for 13 Hours.
Which I actually hear 13 Hours is good. I hear it's one of his good movies.
It's pretty decent. But anyway, then Michael Bay made a favorite movie of mine, which was Pain and Gain. I absolutely love that movie. I think it is an amazingly funny movie. It's a great thing. It's based on a true story, but who knows how much of it is made up. But I was like, okay, Michael Bay, you're on my good side. Plus, Transformers, the original Transformers, I really liked it. That was a movie that was kind of a turning point for Michael Bay. I was like, okay, I'm kind of going back to liking Michael Bay. Because I loved Bad Boys. I thought Bad Boys 1 was pretty good. But Pain and Gain, dude, which also had Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg, to me, is not that good of an actor. He's at his best when he's playing a dumbass, which is how he was in Boogie Nights and Pain and Gain.
When that dude went up for an Oscar
for The Departed,
I was like,
I thought he was terrible in that movie.
I was like, are you kidding me?
Out of everybody that was nominated for The Departed, it's Mark Wahlberg. I'm sorry, but I don't think he's that good of an actor.
I didn't get it.
I don't buy his whole tough guy role, which is why he was like absolutely hilarious in The Other Guys, because he was trying to act tough all the time, and it just doesn't. It's hilarious when he tries to act tough, and as well as like when he does like his action movies and stuff, he's just not convincing, and his dramatic stuff is not all that great either. But like I said, he's best playing a dumbass. And in the case of these Transformers movies, he plays an inventor. And of course, he likes to consistently remind you the fact that he's an inventor. Now, of course, in this new Transformers...
I've heard that complaint a lot.
That was in part 4. In this new one, he only says it once, I believe. Like, I counted it. I only heard it once. And it was just kind of like, I'm an inventor. It wasn't like, I'm an inventor, like just completely out of there. Now, you just have to kind of bear with me a little bit because my notes are pretty scatterbrained, just like this movie. But basically, I'll give like a quick summary. After Transformers 4, Optimus Prime has left Earth. I think it happened at the end of the 4th one. I barely remember it. But he goes out. He eventually finds Cybertron, which is the home planet, which is, the Transformer planet.
Yeah,
I don't know the whole
that's
deal.
Where they're from.
But what was it called again?
Cybertron?
Cybertron, thank you. This movie, man. Cybertron wants to go to Earth, and they went to harvest Earth in order to rebuild Cybertron. And they turn Optimus into a bad guy to make sure that they get it done. And that's really the whole plot there. That's the gist of it. I'm not going to get into more details, but basically I just want to state that here's what I liked. I liked Bumblebee, and I liked Anthony Hopkins. Everything else I hated. I hated almost all of this entire movie. But basically, the Transformers now are being hunted down, and they are not safe in America. The only place where they are safe and they are free is Cuba, which is where John Turturro is at. That's where his character at. And I swear to God, I think his role was probably filmed in one day because all of his scenes are on a telephone. So he comes back. He wasn't in the fourth one. Josh Duhamel also comes back too, which he wasn't in the fourth one either. And there is actually a quick reference to Shia LaBeouf. It's like a picture. Because Shia LaBeouf is a part of this whole family of what I think they call the Witwickians or something like that. And they're the ones that have, like, I guess, dealt with Transformers over time and history. And it's all explained by Anthony Hopkins. And the thing that's kind of hilarious is that they bring up all of these historical places. Like, apparently there was samurai Transformers. There was Transformers fighting along samurai. There were Transformers in World War II fighting Nazis. There were...
And how were they able to hide all this?
You see, that's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up, because if you remember Transformers 2, apparently nobody knew what happened in Transformers 1. They were able to keep all of the destruction, all of the mayhem secret in Transformers 2 of what happened in Transformers 1. This movie completely obliterates the possibility of that.
Come on, it's just like, was it the last one that had the dinosaurs?
Yes.
They came down and they turned themselves into dinosaurs because that's what was here.
Yes.
That would breathe fire.
Yeah, but this is much worse.
I'm just saying dinosaurs weren't breathing fire.
I know. Well, they have like that's another thing too. They have a 3-headed dragon transformer that breathes out fire too. It's like,
and it's the other stuff I don't like too. It's like, you ever notice how the Decepticons come down? They're like, we're gonna be tanks and airplanes and helicopters and crazy stuff. And then all the what are they called? What are the
Autobots?
And all the Autobots.
The
are
GoBots.
The Autobots are like, we're gonna be cars. I'm like, what's that's so stupid?
Well, it's like, but the thing that you have them fight in World War II. Bumblebee fought in World War II. He fought against Nazis. And they basically state, Anthony Hopkins, he has this watch, and it's a Transformer watch. And he says, oh, this is the watch that killed Hitler. So a Transformer killed Hitler. I was about to say the F word. So they're trying...
Yeah, don't be me, Joe.
They're trying to like make this into a shared universe, I think, with spin-offs and stuff, because they're already talking about making a Bumblebee.
No, they've already announced. I can't remember who it is. They've already announced the director for the Bumblebee spin-off. I don't remember who it was.
And it's just Mark Wahlberg. He's now a wanted man in this movie, which I don't know how that transpired from Transformers 4, because I barely remember it. So basically, he takes over the movie from these kids. Do you remember in the trailer when they showed all those kids and they had that lead girl who was acting all tough and stuff? And it's like, those kids disappear. All of those moments in the trailer, that's it for the kids. They don't show up anymore in the movie. And that girl, she basically bookends. She bookends the movie. She's at the beginning. There was a whole marketing campaign behind her, and she's really barely in the movie. She's at the beginning of it, and she shows up at the end for the climax for a really stupid reason, which I absolutely hated. And so the kids disappear. Mark Wahlberg is like, no kids here. I'm going to take over this goddamn movie, which he does. And after that, it just gets even more insane and more ridiculous. And I have to say also that Optimus Prime is only in this movie for like maybe a total of 10 to 15 minutes. That's it for him. This is really more like Bumblebee's movie. And he does some cool things. Like, he does finally get his voice back. But it was kind of funny though, because they get him his voice, but it's actually a female voice. So he rips it out, which brings me to a scene that I'm going to spoil. I'm sorry, but I have to, because this is the part when Optimus Prime and Bumblebee fight in the trailer. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but they're like, he's gonna kill him.
Yeah. okay, this is what happens.
Oh my god, a robot's gonna die, I'm gonna cry.
And nobody should really be surprised by this. Optimus isn't going to remain bad forever. So basically, right as Optimus is about to kill Bumblebee, Bumblebee all of a sudden decides to talk. He could have talked this whole time. And he says something to Optimus. I can't exactly remember what it was. Might have been, no, don't kill me. I don't know. And all of a sudden,
what
Optimus,
you doing, dog?
Yeah. All of a sudden, Optimus snaps out. And he's good again.
For real.
Yes. What does that remind you of? That reminds me of Batman v Superman, the Martha scene.
Oh yeah,
It's exactly like that.
Yeah.
Not as bad as BVS. I'll give it that. But it's still, it just like, I mean, God, I just couldn't. It really irritated the crap out of me because I just couldn't stand that kind of crap.
By the way, it's Travis Knight directing the Bumblebee movie, the director of
I don't know who that is.
Kubo and the 17 strings or whatever the hell it was.
But the thing is that irritated me was
I don't remember the name of it. It was an awesome movie though.
This movie doesn't really have an original bone in its body. It's like they were taking a lot of the popular stuff today. Like I noticed like Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, and what else did I have here? Star Wars. They pretty much take a lot of stuff because the little girl has like a retarded version of BB-8, which is really stupid.
I don't, like the big deal right now is everybody's like, is Michael Bay going to continue to do these movies? He says he's done. I'm sorry, but if I'm Michael Bay, I'm done with this franchise. I mean, he can pretty much do anything he wants. And I don't get him. I don't get his style of movies. They're way overblown and over the top. I get why he gets all the big budget movies though, because like the best way to put it is if you go look anything up about that dude, he's efficient. His sets are drama, almost never filled with drama, and he always comes in under budget. Amazing, and that's why studios love that dude, and that's why they give him these kind of movies.
Well, and then I mean, also the fact that Anthony Hopkins, like I did like Anthony Hopkins in this, but he's just simply Basil exposition. That's all he really is. He's just there to say what's going on at all times. It's like the whole movie, all the dialogue is just nothing but just exposition. And then they have a female character in this who, and I swear to God, dude, this female character has like a mother character and her friends, and they're always at this house talking with one another, and they're always telling this girl, I can't remember her name, Laura Haddock is the actress, I think her name is. But anyway, they want her to get a man. And she finally, when she's teamed up with Mark Wahlberg, she brings him back, and they're all goo goo gaga over the fact that she finally found a man. And then, I shit you not, there's actually a joke where they go up to her room and they're searching for something that's important, and they're making a lot of noise. So the mother thinks that they're having sex. So it's like, oh, let's go listen. And they're saying like usual sexual stuff, like, did you find it yet? No, we'll insert it here, and stuff like that. It's like that kind of stupid stuff, kind of the humor that you see in, you've already seen in a lot of movies. So it was just dumb. The humor in the
from
movie,
the 80s.
The humor in the movie is absolutely god awful.
I thought the humor in almost all the movies was awful.
I thought dude, I gotta tell you something really quick. Transformers 1, I thought Anthony Anderson was hilarious. I did. I thought he was hilarious in the movie. I thought he was funny.
This is too cornball for me. And then what was it, the second movie when he goes to college and his mom eats the brownies?
The second one is
and
horrible.
I was supposed to be like, this is funny. Oh, and is it the second one or the third one where the robots walking through, what are the Transformers walking through the desert and he has a turban?
I think that's the second one.
I can't remember. And I was like, why does he have a turban
Maybe it's the third one. I don't know. The thing, bottom line, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and the fifth one, they all suck. Something else I forgot to mention really quick too.
I like how you just named all of them except for the first one, and you had they go the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. Like, just say all of them except for the first one.
Well, I was kind of going down the line.
Two on.
There's another thing too is that there's also a little plot device which is like this medallion from the King Arthur days, and that's another thing too. It's like the Transformers fought alongside King Arthur and Merlin. Merlin got his powers from the Transformers. So I guess whenever there's like, it's like they even like fuse civil rights leaders have apparently, I guess, worked with the Transformers as well. I don't know how that works, but it's like the thing is just there's this device. It's like a medallion thing that attaches itself to Mark Wahlberg, and throughout the whole movie, you have no idea what it is, but you can pretty much just figure it out just right away. And then finally, when the medallion gets used, it's used that one time and it's for such a pithy little thing, and it's never used again.
And then it just became another medallion on Flavor Flav's neck.
Sure. And I don't know, and it's just, and some of the other stuff was annoying too. Like they had this one guy, like they had this one character who basically wants to fight against the Decepticons using physics and stuff like that. It's like he's not into the whole mumbo jumbo Transformer stuff, so he constantly mentions, "I want to defeat them with physics." Physics. That's how he says it too. He's like, "We're gonna beat them with physics." He does this like multiple times.
I don't think you like this movie, Joe.
I don't, dude. It sucks, man. It sucks so bad. Oh, and one last thing, just one more thing. The post-credit scene. I have no idea what it means. Justin from work had to look it up for me because he wanted to find out. I didn't want to find out. I'm going to spoil it. But basically in the post-credit scene, they bring up Unicron. Do you know who Unicron is? No, it's apparently a planet.
Oh.
And apparently he's on Earth. I don't know exactly what that means.
Wait a minute, Unicron is a planet that's on Earth?
That transforms, something like that. Like it's like a transformer that can be as big as a planet, I guess.
But he's on Earth.
But I think, either that or they're waiting for him or whatever, but it's supposed to set up Unicron, and then the credits came up, and people clapped. Yeah, Michael Bay's credits came up and people were clapping.
I hate people who clap at movie theaters.
Dude, I mean, was there any clapping during Wonder Woman?
No.
Like, you see, now that's
what movie did me and you go to? There was clapping at. There was clapping at one of the movies we went and seen. I don't remember what it was, but anyways, no, there was no clapping at Wonder Woman.
There was clapping at Transformers, and the thing is, I'm surrounded by numbskulls, and it's just like with Batman v Superman.
I'm sorry, but you can put yourself in the numbskull category if you say numbskull, okay?
But it's like they at Batman v Superman, there was clapping during the end credits of that as well when that started.
Was
I
there?
was just like, yeah, and I was like, and Thomas looked over at me and was like, "Is there anything during the credits?" I was like, "I don't give a fuck. We're getting out of here right now."
There you go. You dropped one.
There it was, man. For that movie, I will. This movie was terrible. It's not the worst one, though. The fourth one is probably the worst one, but I would give this a 2. I say it's a 2. I still think the first Transformers movie is still A-okay. I still think it's actually a pretty good movie. I do enjoy it.
Now, how's that for negativity?
Well, that's the thing, though. It's like when you're talking about 47 meters down, you give it a 2, and it's like it seemed more like that was maybe a 4 or 5.
No, it wasn't.
Like, Transformers literally pissed me off, so I figured I'd give it a 2 because the visual effects were good.
I was just, dude, I'm telling you, it was not. It was just there. Like I just felt like I just went and sat in a movie theater. I just sat there, like I was just there while something was on the screen. That's how interesting this movie was. It was not interesting at all. I couldn't pay any attention to it. Like I did, and it was just hard because the whole time I was just like, yeah, I bet a shark's go. Oh, here it comes. Oh, wow.
See, I would say that this Transformers movie, if I want to set some bars, I would say it's worse than Batman v Superman, but better than Ghostbusters, the female one. I mean, if you want to put it in that place. Like I feel that like Ghostbusters is like the almost lowest, and then BVS is like it's just like almost right above it. I'd say this is in between.
I don't know. We're all over the map with our scores. It's all right. It's how we feel at the moment.
All right. Let's go ahead and talk about the last movie, which I just saw this yesterday, so I figured I'd share it. It'll kind of be somewhat of a quick review, but Life. Just came out on Blu-ray.
Starring Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence.
Oddly enough, you have 2 movies called Life, and neither one of them are based on the board game Life.
Nope.
It's going to be hard when they actually want to make a movie off of that. But anyway, they'll have to call it Life, the board game movie. But anyway.
They didn't call Battleship what is that, a board game? What the hell is that?
It's a board game.
I guess.
Did you never play Battleship?
No, but there's no
What kind of childhood did you have?
But there's no board.
Did you ever see the movie?
No, I didn't want to.
The ocean was the board. I'm not kidding either. The ocean was the board. But anyway, Life, it's with Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds, and Rebecca Ferguson. Basically, it's on a space station, and they are about to receive a probe, a giant probe with some
in their anus,
with some stuff from Mars.
I'm a grown-up.
And they're able to capture it, which is actually, I gotta be honest in saying that was the only part in the movie where there was tension, was when they were about to grab that. But anyway, they grab it, and they find that they have an alien life form on it. So it's like a huge deal. And kids.
I like how you said it to me. The way you had to, if you could see how he looked at me, when it's like it was a huge deal. Like the way he said it's like I imagine everybody on there was like, "Oh, yippee skippy!
Yeah,
this is gonna be great."
And so the it's released upon the world like the news, and for some reason they let kids name the alien, so they name it after their school. And it just so happens that their school is named Calvin whatever. So the alien is named Calvin, which whatever. But the movie goes on, and they have it seems like it's a friendly alien at first. They're kind of touching it, like the black scientist is touching it. So out of carelessness, they mess up the environment for it, and it goes into hibernation. And it's the dumbest. I mean, it's the dumbest way. It's like, it seems like, I don't exactly remember how it happened, but I think like a wrench or something fell on it, and it just screwed up stuff. It's like they left it unattended, and it was just ridiculous. So much carelessness. And so it goes in a hibernated state.
Seems to be a theme these days with these movies and scientists being the most idiotic people on the planet.
They're dumb. They're the Alien Covenant Prometheus dumb. So it's in hibernation, and then they wake it up. Once again, the black scientist has to mess with it again, and he uses a shock probe, shocks it awake, and then it acts as a defense mechanism. It latches onto his hand, and it starts breaking his hand. And so then eventually it escapes. It can feed off of blood and all that, and it gets bigger. And essentially it escapes, and they have to survive the alien. Go through all the usual stuff of, how are we going to stop it? What can we learn from it? All that kind of crap. And basically, it's essentially Alien again. I mean, that's all it really is. It's just Alien. But here, like, my whole problem is here, I'll tell you right away what I liked. I thought the visual effects of like the ships and all the kind of debris destruction kind of stuff was really good. The opening shot was really cool because it was a very long shot, and the whole movie is weightless. Everybody's weightless throughout the whole film, and I thought that was actually really cool. That stuff was very well done. The acting was fine, serviceable, nothing really groundbreaking. But that was essentially it. Here are my problems. The alien looks really stupid, and it's terrible CGI. Like, it looks really dumb. It reminded me of
that seems to be another theme with the alien movies these days. Terrible CGI.
It wasn't as bad as those, but it kind of reminded me, like, the whole design of it kind of reminded me of the aliens from the Abyss. Remember those?
Yeah.
It reminded me of those. And the thing is that this thing is just it just looks stupid when it would attack. Like, I thought there was this one really funny cartoony moment where Jake Gyllenhaal is going through a corridor. He quickly shuts a door, and the alien just against the door, and it looked like straight out of a cartoon. It was terrible. And then, of course, like when the alien is like killing people, it looks like it's like beating them up. It's just constantly probing it with its tentacles, and it looks like it's just punching the shit out of people. And I don't know, man. It's not a good movie. I mean, it's not a terrible movie.
So what do you give it?
I would go ahead and give it a 5. I wanted to quickly point out, my roommate, Kelsey, she had a name for it. She basically called it Titalian. She felt like it was Titanic mixed with Alien.
No.
So I figured I'd mention that for her.
I'd like to point out that your buddy old pal at work, Justin, thought that when you said it was a 5, somehow he got in his head that you meant like out of 5.
No.
And he was
No.
Joe loved it. And I was like, no, Joe didn't like that movie.
The movie's a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, he was like 5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's not that. Oh God, the ending is so atrocious. I'm not gonna say what it is, but it is stupid, and it's pretty predictable too. It's like you can pretty much tell there's like a certain specific point where it's like, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. I didn't like it too much, but I didn't hate it.
All right, 5.
5. I'm trying to think if there was anything I might have forgotten about the movie, but it's just, don't waste your time with it, really.
Don't waste your time with any of the movies we reviewed today.
Wait for Netflix. Yeah, that's the thing. This is sort of a negative, but we got Baby Driver coming up, and then Spider-Man Homecoming. Hopefully they're both
some
good.
positivity on the horizon.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry about that.
Not like.
But if you really want positivity from us, you can go ahead and get us out at Joe John Show on Instagram, on Facebook, and Twitter. You probably should just pay more attention to Twitter and Instagram, because really, I don't ever post anything on Facebook. And I post everything on Twitter. Like, I'm on Twitter all the time. Like, that's where you should be. You should be like, you just should just be there and just follow us. I had so much more I wanted to say. It just left my brain. So anyways, folks, bye.
Goodbye, everybody. Next time on Joe John Tally-Ho. All right, Murray, there is another way to solve this mystery from this movie. Would you like to know?
Does the Pope wear a funny hat?
You fill the 3-gallon jug with water, and then you empty that 3 gallons into the 5-gallon jug, okay? Which leaves 3 gallons into the 5-gallon jug and no gallons in the 3-gallon jug. Then you fill up the 3-gallon jug again, and you empty it into the 5-gallon jug, which leaves 1 gallon in the 3-gallon jug. Then you completely empty out that 5-gallon jug. Then you fill up the 5-gallon jug with that 1 gallon in the 3-gallon jug, and then you fill the 3-gallon jug again, and then you put that 3 gallons into the 5-gallon jug, which had 1 gallon, which now equals 4 gallons.